my name is Ryan and I'm in recovery. We have left Cornwall. We're on the last leg of our camping trip now. We're just driving up to Bristol. My friend's got a canal boat, so we're going to spend the night with them and then head home tomorrow. A little story came to me, one of those chaotic cocaine stories I thought I would share. I can't remember how long ago it was a good few years ago now, but one of my best and oldest friends from school was getting married when I was a groomsman. They hired like a stately home in Essex with the idea that the bride and groom party would all be staying on site after the wedding. We had to get there super early, like 8 AM. I'd picked up 2 grams of coke to bring with me, which I was planning on waiting until after the service and dinner and then having. But yeah, we started drinking really early because we were like putting our suits on and photographers were taking pictures and we were like having bubbles while that was happening. So I'd already had like 3 glasses of Prosecco by like 10 AM and yeah, started tucking into the coke straight away and was working my way through it pretty quickly. Yeah, the service kind of went fine, but then there was that really long gap you get between the service and the reception where there's like family photos and stuff being taken. It just went on for ages and I ended up drinking loads. And then when it came to being seated for dinner, I realised I was sat on a table with a load of people I didn't know. My friend who was getting married at the time has since told me that he thought because I'm kind of really sociable and I work in London, it'll be better for me to kind of sit with some different people, and then he kind of put all my other school friends all together on one table. But yeah, I actually really struggle with stuff like that. I'm quite shy. I can get like social anxiety and stuff like that, and tend to turn to substances to kind of help handle them sort of feelings. And yeah, so then I was already pretty drunk from all the bubbles and the drinking in between service and dinner. And then obviously the table's got wine on it. Favours, which I think was like a little bottle of spirit, which I drank and drank my girlfriend's one, and then drank most of the wine on the table, and then I can't really remember much after that. Finished all the coke really quickly. I don't think I ate any of the food, or wasn't hungry for obvious reasons. And yeah, I don't really remember much. I just remember kind of running around the corridors of this stately home, like basically trashing the place and like wrestling with one of my mates and like just being an obnoxious idiot. But yeah, basically had
disruptions en route.
A total blackout until probably like midnight, at which point I remember that I was desperately trying to find someone with gear, like going asking around random people that I didn't know. Bear in mind, this wasn't like this super loose wedding. It was pretty, a lot of older people, pretty sensible vibes. I was probably the drunkest person there, being really rowdy on the dance floor, yeah, being inappropriate, asking people for drugs and stuff like that. I ended up, because I realised I couldn't get any, I ended up booking myself a taxi from this hotel, stately home place in Essex, all the way back to Margate, just so I could basically pick up. I also, in the meantime, fully trashed my hotel room, like ripped all the light fixtures out the walls, pulled down the curtain rail. I don't actually remember doing it, but I've since found out that I did do it. I was throwing lampshades and wall fixtures out the window, and yeah, ended up then getting in a taxi, leaving, left my partner at the wedding. There was also meant to be this kind of like brunch that was happening the morning after, which obviously I wasn't present for because I ended up getting a taxi all the way back to Margate, picking up like a quarter of coke and just sitting by myself doing it, ignoring all the calls from my ex to try and find out where I was, ignoring any calls from anyone at the wedding finding out where I was. And yeah, bless my ex, she had to kind of get up in the morning and try and make an excuse for me as to why I hadn't made the brunch, and then make a kind of swift exit. And my friend whose wedding it is, he's just like the loveliest guy ever, so he never really kind of expressed any annoyance or anger over what happened, but I'm sure he was pretty angry. I did get a bill for trashing the room. The groom also mentioned that there was like smashed glass on the lawn and like lampshades and stuff all like spread across the lawn in the morning when they woke up, and everyone was a bit confused as to what was going on. So yeah, there's a bit of a chaotic story for you.